Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is What If Renly Baratheon Lived. Before we begin, I need to provide a bit of background and yawn. Ugh. Uh, so for a bit of background, the War of the Five Kings was around the middle point of the war. Renly had already married Marjorie Tyrell, and Stannis had sailed to Storm's End to take Storm's End and kill Renly and take his men, which did end up happening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let's begin. So in Season 2 or 299 AC, instead of using a Shadow Baby, Stannis tries to take Storm's End by military force, but Renly defeats him, and Renly will definitely kill Stannis and probably send Melisandre back to the Free Cities. And I think Davos will end up going to the Night's Watch. I think instead of going back to the Free Cities, Melisandre will probably go to the Wall first. But before the Battle of Storm's End, Renly promised Catelyn that if Robb acknowledged him as king of the Six Kingdoms in the south, Renly will acknowledge Robb as king in the north, and they would fight side by side like Robert and Ned did. Robb Stark will definitely accept this proposal since Renly is still alive in this timeline, and the two kings have to meet up. Instead of marching back to Riverrun, Renly will have Robb march on Castle Rock, and around episode 7, Robb Stark will take Castle Rock from the Lannisters, and this won't change Catelyn freeing Jaime, by the way. Renly will leave Storm's End and make his march up the King's Wood, while Robb marches down from the Gold Road to King's Landing. Tywin can't take Castle Rock thanks to Edmure Charlie defeating him, so he will march down to King's Landing. In the fall of King's Landing, Renly will defeat Joffrey and end up killing Tommen, Cersei, Tyrion, Tywin, and Bronn. In the season finale, Joffrey will be beheaded by Robb in a poetic justice the same way Joffrey beheaded Ned Stark, Robb's father. And at the end of the season, Renly will finally consummate his marriage to Marjorie, and Robb won't be in the Westerlands and the Riverlands to marry Talisa since he is in King's Landing, so we get to see. And we also get to see Robb, Catelyn, and Sansa reunite. Moving on to Season 3, Robb Stark will begin his march up King's Landing, and Renly will learn that Marjorie is pregnant, and at the end of the episode, Renly will make Jaime a wanted fugitive with the person who hands him over getting cast at the Rock. Roose Bolton will march and take Harrenhal from the last of Tywin's supporters. And moving on to episode 2, Jaime will escape the people escorting him to King's Landing as Brienne is a member of Renly's Kingsguard. And in episode 3, Melisandre, Davos, and Jenna Slint will arrive at the Wall, but Jon Snow isn't there currently, so Melisandre will go towards Daenerys Targaryen. In episode 4, Renly clears out his small council with Littlefinger and Varys fleeing King's Landing. Littlefinger goes to the Vale to marry Lysa Arryn, and Varys will go east towards Daenerys Targaryen. The rest of Season 3 is very chill, with at the end of the season being the wedding of Robb Stark to Rosalind Frey, and Renly and Marjorie's child will be born, a son named Aerys Baratheon. Jaime will return to Castle Rock and claim his lordship there, as that is the power of the Lannisters. Moving on to Season 4, Robb, Sansa, Catelyn, and Arya will all reunite thanks to the Hound giving Arya over to them. The Hound will go west to be a sellsword, but he won't make it out of Westeros, as Littlefinger will find him and make him his own sellsword. Meanwhile, Robb Stark will begin his conquest of the north, and at the end of the season he will take back Winterfell. We can also assume that Rosalind Frey will become pregnant with Robb's child. Back in King's Landing, Renly will get a brand new Kingsguard and a brand new small castle. The young Greyjoy will also be presented to Robb Stark by Ramsay, who was made of bone by Robb. And Theon is executed, although he reveals he didn't kill Bran or Rickon. Melisandre and Varys will arrive in Meereen to meet with Daenerys, although it doesn't amount to much except Daenerys leaving Meereen to Dario and continues to liberate the free cities, starting with Braavos, at Varys' suggestion to collect the money of the Iron Bank. With Stannis not there, I think the Wall will fall to the Wildlings, and so Jon, Sam, and a few others will go down to Winterfell to warn Robb in the north of the upcoming danger. Meanwhile, in the south, Renly will learn of Jaime taking Castle Rock, and he will leave King's Landing north to defeat Jaime. Jaime is defeated and killed, but the Tyrells use his chance to overtake Renly in power at King's Landing. Back in the Vale, Littlefinger used the Hound to kill Lysa Arryn and take the veil. However, he blames the Hound, and the Hound is executed. Moving on to season 5, Robb's first son is born, a boy named Eddard. The Starks also get Rickon back, whilst Jon, Sam, and the last of the Night's Watch arrive in Winterfell. There, Sam reveals to everyone that Bran is alive, as he met him back in season 3. This plot will ultimately conclude when Robb defeats Mance Rayder as a part of the terms between the Wildlings and the Starks. And, yeah, as a part of those terms, the Wildlings will man the wall to help the fight against the White Walkers while Mance is killed and Jon stays Lord Commander. At Varys' suggestion, Daenerys will use the gold from the Iron Bank to buy the Golden Company, and they will make preparations to invade Westeros while making the city hers. Renly is in King's Landing and he needs to find a new Lord of Casterly Rock, so he makes the Tarleys Lords of Casterly Rock. In season 6, Daenerys will arrive in Westeros and take Dragonstone, but she'll have basically no allies except for Dorne. But before I begin, I should mention why it's in season 6 instead of 7. Now, I had this just to kind of speed things up a bit, but I also did this because there's no need in 8th season, as if Varys and other advisors are already there, they want, as Tyrion and Varys only met Daenerys in season 5 in the real show, but if Daenerys already meets them, then I think they would advocate for her to go earlier. Yeah, so she will spend a majority of this season recruiting allies. She gets 2, being the Vale and the Greyjoys come to her. They both pledge their support in exchange for a marriage pact. Littlefinger offers Robb and Arryn to marry Daenerys, and this is accepted. This causes Euron to leave. Meanwhile, Robb sends Jon as an envoy to meet with Daenerys and convince her to join their fight against the White Walkers, and Yara Greyjoy meets with Daenerys. Yara joins Daenerys at the end of the season. The whole of Westeros marches to Winterfell to defeat the White Walkers. We also get to see Bran reunite with the Starks, and yeah, I chose to make this Game of Thrones 7 seasons because I wanted to speed things up a little bit. Like, I already mentioned this, but if Daenerys' advisors like Varys and Melisandre already get there, Melisandre will want Daenerys to go to Westeros as soon as possible to defeat the White Walkers, and Varys wants Daenerys to sit on the throne. And the longer she waits, the more Westeros becomes powerful. Now, moving on to season 7, the Long Night episode happens the same with the humans winning, and the major death is once again Bran with nothing to protect him. Sorry, Bran fans. After the Long Night, Daenerys will take King's Landing with 2 healthy dragons, because Renly won't have Qyburn to develop the Scorpion. And with the North, it's a real 50-50, but I do think after seeing Dany help with the White Walkers and the fact that she has 2 dragons, I think Robb will bend the knee. Jon's true parentage won't matter in this case because he is still a member of the Night's Watch. In addition, I think to secure his claim, his claim to and maintain loyalty to the crown, Robb will send Rickon to Squire for someone in King's Landing, and Sansa will be married to Ramsay Bolton to further the Bolton line. And with that, this What If comes to a close, and thanks so much for watching. Daenerys does sit the throne in one of these. Bran dies again. And if you want to see more like this, at 100 subs, I'll do a 1-hour video on the FNAF Timeline, and at 500 likes, I'll do a video on Greyjoy's Rebellion. At 50k views, I'll do a video on the life of Ned Stark. But until then, bye!